Welcome, my name is Cian, and today I'm showing you how to make Jamaican style rice and peas, not to be confused with Bahamian peas and rice and all the other rice and bean dishes that are a staple of the Caribbean diet. Now, to get started, you'll need a few key ingredients besides the rice and the beans. You can use red kidney beans or pigeon peas, dried pigeon peas, or gungo peas as we call it. In addition, you will also need coconut milk. You'll need some water. We will need butter, a clove of garlic, and a couple slices of hot pepper, Scotch bonnet pepper. You can use the whole pepper, but if you do, be careful not to pierce it with the fork as it cooks. Otherwise, your rice and peas might be too spicy to eat. You'll also need some onions. Green or white onions are fine, or you can use a combination of the two. We also have some allspice berries, a sprig of thyme, and a little bit of salt, and a tablespoon or two of butter. Now, one thing to note, rice and peas takes about half the water that a typical rice recipe would use because of the added liquid from the kidney beans and the coconut milk. Next, we'll combine everything in a saucepan over a medium heat. Start with the kidney beans and the coconut milk. Add in your herbs. Set aside the rice and the salt until the very last. Add in your scallions, your thyme, your allspice berries, butter, garlic, the hot pepper. If you're using the whole hot pepper, leave that for the very last after you've added the rice. You don't want that to get lost and burst. Now, once everything is added in, grab a fork and give everything a good stir to combine, and then cover it with a lid and let it simmer for a few minutes. About 5 minutes will do, just until the flavor starts to take over, or the aroma, until the aroma starts to take over your kitchen. Now, after about 5 minutes of simmering, once everything starts to bubble, come back, remove your lid, give it another good stir, and then mix in your rice with a fork. Try not to use a spoon. I don't know why, but using a spoon to cook rice tends to make it mushy, sticky, clumpy, soup-like. So pour in your rice, use a fork to add it in. Use a little bit of the water to rinse any remaining rice grains from the bowl. Also, I should note, your rice should already be pre-washed to remove some of the starch. Rinse it 2 or 3 times until the water starts to run clear. That will get some of the starch out of the rice. Now, rinse the remaining rice grains from the bowl and pour in the rest of your water. The full recipe is here on the blog at cianscooking.com, so be sure to check that out. Once you've stirred everything in, taste it for saltiness. Just get a little bit of the liquid from the pot or one of the beans and taste to make sure it has enough salt. If not, add in the salt to suit your taste at this point. Give everything a good stir, cover it, and you can leave your heat on medium. Keep a close eye on it that it doesn't dry out too quickly. Or you can reduce your heat to medium-low, cover the pot, and let it simmer for a few minutes. About 15 minutes ought to do it. After about 15 minutes, come back and check to make sure that your grains are evenly cooked and there are no white spots on any of the rice grain. Everything is dried out and your rice is nice and fluffy. If your rice grains are not cooked to an even tenderness, then add a few more drops of water, cover the pot, and let it simmer for another 5 to 7 minutes. If your rice is cooked, then just go ahead, use a fork and fluff it, and remove your thyme stems and your hot pepper if there is one. Visit my blog at cianscooking.com for the full recipe, including all of the measurements, and for dozens of other Caribbean recipes. Jamaican style rice and peas is delicious, served with oxtails, jerk chicken, steamed fish, brown stew fish, or just about any other protein